We have a special media availability here. We've now been joined by Dave Parasak, who's the Global Director of Ford Performance, and he's joined by former NASCAR Sprint Cup Series champion and driver of the #2 Miller Lite Ford for Team Penske, Brad Keselowski. And Dave, we'll start with you for a couple of questions. Exciting news coming out of Le Mans on Friday with the announcement of the new Ford GT sports car program with Chip Ganassi racing with Felix Sabates. Those cars will make their competition debut next January in the Rolex 24 at Daytona. What can we expect to see when those two cars roll off the grid?
Hopefully some of the best race cars you've ever seen. We're really excited about returning to Le Mans and returning, to sports car racing. The EcoBoost powered sports car is going to be over 600 horsepower, and it's going to be the state of the art in aerodynamics, lightweighting, and obviously the powertrain itself. So we are very excited, and we're going to have one fantastic race car. Everybody keeps asking, are you guys going to go win? I always say, well, we don't race to lose. All I can tell you is that when we show up that day, we're going to have one heck of a race car, and I hope everyone else is ready.
All right, and there's also some news a couple weeks ago pertaining to you and your role with the NASCAR program for Ford. Are you able to touch on what the hierarchy looks like going forward for you in the organization?
Yeah, so we did a reorganization called Ford Performance, and I am the director of Ford Performance. So whether it's performance vehicles inside our company or whether it's racing, it all is underneath me. So you're going to see me at the racetracks more often. I've been here already quite a bit and been engaging with the teams. But more importantly, what you're going to see and why Ford Performance is so important, and Brad can hopefully support me on this, we are taking all of our resources inside of Ford and we're reorganizing them in a way that we can be more efficient and more effective in helping our teams actually perform better out on the track. And I think, Brad, you've seen the results of us doing this Ford Performance, stepping up our technical support, and then applying it to the team.
Yeah, it's kind of an exciting time at Ford, and for us as drivers and teams specifically. It's our job to make the most of every resource we have, and Ford is doing an outstanding job of trying to push us to the next level, which I think is always something to be proud of. But I look at the manufacturer side, and coming here to Detroit is a key indicator of it, of just how integral it is to our race fans and their experience, and not only that, but how much they have to offer for us as race teams to perform. So it's interesting to me to see it change from Ford Racing to Ford Performance, because as someone told me when the change was done, anyone can race, but you've got to be good to perform, and that's what we're out for.
And Brad, for you, Michigan International Speedway is your home racetrack. You have 2 NASCAR Xfinity Series victories here, but you're still searching for your first NASCAR Sprint Cup Series victory here. Talk a little bit about what it means to come home, but more importantly, what it would mean to be able to pull into victory lane here at Michigan.
Yeah, well, those 2 wins just at the Xfinity level felt like the biggest wins of my career at the time. And that was certainly not at the Cup level and before, winning the championship over here. So, I would say that for almost every driver, this is the case. But winning your home race and the hometown track is its own Daytona 500 for you. It's your biggest race. It's where all your family and friends are. For me, it's even bigger than that with, Ford being here and Roger Penske, my team owner, headquarters being down the road. So, this is a huge race for me personally. It's a huge race for our team. It's a huge race for Ford. A win here would mean so much, and we've been so close with finishing second here, previously. And I just want to get that one more spot.
Right, we'll go ahead and take questions now for Dave or Brad. If you have one, please raise your hand and state your name and affiliation, and we'll start up front with Mike.
Yeah, Mike Brudenell from the Detroit Free Press. Welcome, Dave, to the Media Center. And I was speaking to Brad last week, and I asked him about what he thought of Roush's performances this year. And Brad said, well, he expected them to bounce back, particularly, possibly today. But there's a big gap, it seems, this season between the Penske team and Roush. And you're coming aboard. Have you been, in communication with Jack, or has he been, reaching out to you to sort of discuss where they are at the moment this season?
I've never met him yet. I'm just kidding. We're with Jack all the time, and we spend a lot of time with Jack's team, and we're making all the right, I believe, changes within not only Roush Fenway organization, but also as we apply what I just talked to you about, our technical resources within Ford Performance, assisting Jack and his team to get to a better place. We've seen progress. We're excited about what we've seen so far. Obviously, we need to see more, and we're confident that Jack is dedicated with his team to doing that. So we're partners in this, and our goal is to make them perform better. We're expecting a good performance today out of his team.
Anything in particular that you're working with him on?
Well, we're working on all aspects of the race car and of not only the race car, but whether it be driver training or whether it be just everything that's involved in getting a race car to perform out on the track, the pit crew, everything. So it's all aspects. There's nothing that's not on the table. Jack has welcomed all of the support and help, and we've seen some significant improvement as a result of that. So we're hoping for a good outing today with the Roush Fenway team.
All right, we'll go to Tom next.
Hi, guys. Tom Jensen, FoxSports.com. Brad, what do you think of the possibility of going to Kentucky and racing a package that hasn't been tested before, and do you think this is the right step?
Honestly, I haven't put a lot of thought into it. The rules kind of are what they are from week to week, and I kind of try not too much to get caught up in some of the pandering for what they should be at times, and try to focus more on how to make the most of them. But all in all, I'm open-minded. I just want to see the racing continue to improve. The thing about the sport that I think is hard to explain to people, because they ask me all the time why we change the rules so much, and I think it goes back to kind of the constant tug of war between NASCAR and the teams continuously innovating, and NASCAR continuously trying to make the racing as of high quality as possible. And in that tug of war, anytime NASCAR changes something to try to make the racing better, whether that's aerodynamically or with engines or some other change, we seem to have the resources, whether it's from someone like Ford or internally, to gain that back, whatever they might take away with a rules change. And over the last decade or so, we've significantly outpaced NASCAR and their changes to the car to try to keep the racing to where you can pass and do things. And we've done that all with the aerodynamic category. I mean, we've seen the cars gain probably 200 to 300% in downforce over the last 10 years. So, at some point, NASCAR's trying to get out in front of it. That's their job, to keep the racing as good as it can be. And so, in that sense, I completely agree that you have to continuously change the rules to keep up with the teams and the iterations that we come up with to make our cars perform that aren't necessarily in the best interest of the sport. It's, to me, a good sign to see them trying to do just that.
Kenny, go ahead.
Kenny Bruce with NASCAR.com for Dave and Brad, if you want to chime in on this. The name change, from Ford Racing to Ford Performance, we've heard about that. I'm assuming that you guys have always provided technological and engineering support to Ford teams. So how is this change actually going to benefit Ford teams in NASCAR?
Yeah, so we have obviously supplied support in the past. Big shift, though, within our company. It's not just a name change. It's actually functionally how we operate. So we were supporting our race teams 100% nearly out of our marketing group inside the company. And now that has shifted to our product development team. And our product development team has much more resource available to the teams as we go out, and whether it's aerodynamics or whether it's engine or no matter what it is. So realigning everything under product development within Ford actually adds to a much larger team than what we had before in order to support the actual race teams themselves. It really is a major shift inside our company on how we're approaching racing. And as Brad mentioned before, we don't just go racing, we race to perform. And we're going to go out on the track, we are going to perform, and we're going to test new technologies, new innovations, and then we're also going to bring that into the rest of the product lineup within the company. But again, from a resource perspective and how we support them better now than ever before, is because now that it's aligned under product development, we have more resources available to do that. Also, the core team that works underneath me now that is directly supporting the race team went from about 7 people about 2 years ago to we're at 21 and growing right now. So we are putting more resources on board in order to better support our race teams.
Is it any more of a hands-on approach than it was from the marketing group?
It's very much a hands-on approach, and Brad can even attest to that. We're absolutely 100% hands-on involved with the teams. We're side by side. I have engineers that work right inside the Penske building much of the time. So we and Roush as well. We are absolutely more hands-on than we've ever been before.
Matt, go ahead.
Matt Weaver, Auto Week. This is for you, Dave. There's been a lot of conversation over the past couple of weeks of different teams looking to change manufacturers. So the first part of that is, are you guys satisfied with your current roster of teams? And secondly, have you guys talked to Furniture Row?
What I'd say is that we're very happy with the partners that we have today. We have an approach where we're working to get everybody's performance up, and we're committed to doing that. So we believe in long-term partners, and we believe we have the right people that we're with currently.
All right, we're going to go up front to Lee.
My question was asked, but thank you. Sorry.
Yeah, no worries. And come back to Mike, please.
Dave, have you got an idea of your Le Mans lineup, and how do you talk Brad into being one of those guys? I know he'd love to race there.
Would he love to race there? Would you love to race there, Brad?
Yeah, I was just watching it up here on the TV out of the corner of my eye, and it looks way different, but it still looks like a lot of fun. And when you, I guess the first thing you have to say is, this car that Ford has built, this new GT, is going to be an icon of a car. And in that sense, any driver that still has a pulse wants to drive a car that is an icon. So whoever does get to drive it is going to be a very, very lucky race car driver. And so there's no shortage, I think, for Dave of volunteers in that case. So.
No, that's right. Brad, I appreciate you saying that. We're very excited about the race program. We did, announce that we would have 2 cars running in the IMSA series and 2 running in the WEC series. We have not done driver selection yet, but as Brad has commented on, and that's the only thing I'll confirm, is that the interest in driving this vehicle has been exceptional. Not only before the announcement, but even now since the announcement, the phone is ringing off the hook. So we're going to have, I think, a good opportunity in front of us to select the right drivers to pilot all 4 cars.
All right. And Dave and Brad, we appreciate your time this morning. Brad, we wish you the best of luck this afternoon. No pressure to win here at Michigan, and we thank you guys again.
Thanks for having us. Appreciate it, guys.
Thanks a lot, guys.